Once again, just to echo Monica, let me take this opportunity to welcome you all, and on behalf of Margaret and myself, to say that, and the government and the people of Kenya, to welcome you, Your Excellency, and indeed your delegation to the Republic of Kenya, and we feel greatly honored for you accepting our invitation to make a state visit to our country. And your presence here is further testimony of the warm relations and close bonds between our two peoples. Kenya and South Sudan are countries that do not merely share a common border. Our nations share values, heritage, communities, and common aspirations for our future. Indeed, the peoples of Kenya and South Sudan are brothers and sisters who can draw a lot from each other on matters social, cultural, economic, environmental, for which we pride linkage for centuries. We indeed have linkages that provide solid foundation for continued fraternity of our two nations going forward. And it was that in mind that I note with great satisfaction that our two countries possess immense potential for even greater social economic development and shared prosperity for our people. I do believe that events like this state visit allow for the engagement on how Kenya and South Sudan can build and create greater linkages for the mutual benefit of our nations as well as the region as a whole. Indeed, as we did earlier today, I am happy to note that for the first time we have held the first Kenya-South Sudan Joint Commission for Cooperation, which took place here in Nairobi from the 27th to the 28th of June, and our respective representatives were able to negotiate for strengthened bilateral cooperation in fields such as immigration, finance, energy, infrastructure, trade, among others. Your Excellency, as African heads of state and government, during a period of continent-wide dynamism and transformation, I believe we are both uniquely aware of the unique moment in history in which our countries and our continent exist in. And I believe that this phenomenal moment in history calls upon all of us as African leaders to do all that they can do to seize the unparalleled opportunities available to our countries and continent so as to create a better tomorrow for all our people. Indeed, it is sad then to see at this momentous moment that rather than deepening inter-regional linkages to greater regional cooperation and fostering internal cohesion and stability within our own borders, we see many on our continent mired in conflict and internal dispute or dispute between borders. I believe that commitment to Pan-Africanism at the continental stage, regional and national stage, represents each of our nation's surest path to peace, prosperity, and a better life for all. Your Excellency, I take note that South Sudan has prioritized the search for a sustainable political solution to the conflict which has persisted for far too long in your country. Indeed, eminent African and global leaders have pledged their support for South Sudan's quest for sustainable peace, including His Holiness Pope Francis, an indicator of the deep continental and global desire to see a united, peaceful, and prosperous South Sudan. I believe that the leadership of South Sudan across the entire political and ethnic spectrum have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to forge a lasting peace that provides the internal stability an enabling environment for your country's takeoff, both economically and socially. And we are fortunate that the South Sudan of today has bold and dynamic sons of daughters such as you, Your Excellency, who have the requisite vision and stature that allows them to bring together all sections of South Sudanese society into one common fold. I believe that South Sudan in this moment can crystallize the optimism and hope that all nations of the world had for it when your nation gained independence on the 9th of July 2011. I was just reminding the President that we were all there struggling to look for seats, sitting on the floor. The whole world was in South Sudan, excited, eager, looking forward to a great future for a great nation. With the 8th anniversary of that momentous day, just days away, now is the moment for the great men within South Sudan to secure their place in national, regional, continental, and global history as the statesmen who defied the naysayers and prophets of doom by putting aside their differences and delivering unity, peace, and security to South Sudan. On our part as Kenya, we are ever ready and always at hand to play whatever role is required for us in assisting you, our brothers and sisters, in the creation of an all-inclusive, transitional mechanisms and institutions towards bringing South Sudan's people together and providing for the full realization of this young nation's democracy. Kenya will continue to provide technical and diplomatic support to facilitate implementation of the peace process, including deployment of whatever resources that we have, as well as technical advisors in various transitional and implementational mechanisms. Your Excellency, Kenya is cognizant of the fact that the political and security and economic situation, as well as the humanitarian situation in South Sudan, will be largely dependent by the success and implementation of the revitalized agreement. Commitment to the agreement will allow South Sudan to shed off the yoke of needless conflict and internal disunity that has limited your country's achievements of our full potential. Your Excellency, internal stability and cohesion is no easy task. Kenya, as many of you will know, has also faced many of the same challenges that South Sudan has faced over the last 8 years or so. We in Kenya have been fortunate that whenever these challenges have threatened to escalate into conflict or strife, men and women have put the country above self so as to ensure that our nation remains peaceful, stable, and united, and able to secure the interests of all our people. Our nation trusts that brothers and sisters to the north of us will be similarly fortunate, and South Sudan will walk back onto the path that it had placed itself on the 9th of July, 2011. Your Excellency, you are East African Community's youngest member. The community offers an opportunity for strengthening of bonds of cooperation between Kenya, South Sudan, and all the peoples of East Africa, with free trade, movement of people, capital, goods and services, as well as ever closer social and cultural linkages that can be fostered between us. I am keen to see our two countries work together in shared infrastructure development through improved road and rail networks, enhanced air connectivity, and the utilization of shared communication platforms and resources. With particular regard to road infrastructure, we note that all the projects under LAPSET are currently ongoing or are just about to start or are going to be expedited. In this regard, we continue, and I wish to reaffirm my commitment to ensuring that as a region, we remain at the forefront of promoting the free movement of people, capital, goods and services as the platform for greater shared happiness and prosperity. Finally, Your Excellency, I wish to take this opportunity to invite business people and investors from South Sudan to come and invest in Kenya. And I urge them to take advantage of existing favorable trading conditions and our close social and cultural ties for the mutual benefit of both our nations. Kenya is ready to do business, and our business environment provides your enterprises a safe, secure market for expansion and growth. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great day for me as we welcome my dear brother, and I look forward to a deepening partnership between our two nations, between our two peoples, between our two governments, for the mutual benefit and prosperity